Welcome to episode 176 of the Muck Podcast, a member of the Odd Pods Media Network. Listen in as we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics. I'm Tina Hadamito.
And I'm Hillary Doherty.
Hillary! Woo! My voice cracked.
I gotta tell you, like halfway through this week, I was like, do we have a podcast still? Or like I haven't done anything? Am I in trouble? When we record 2 in a row, it throws off everything.
And I think the other thing that is different is that we have moved to a 1-in-1.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we have this little break, which I'm kind of digging. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
I put a couple things. I should have posted it on our social media because I'm a dum-dum. But I wrote a blog
Tina.
on our website about the abortion providers that you talked about. And so I'm going to try to update this blog regularly, and I'll try to post and just say, hey, new blog post up or whatever, so that we can get some traffic there. So you should go check it out, themuckpodcast.com. Go.
Check it out.
Check it out.
And check it out.
And our merch store should be live soon.
Oh, fuck, I got to update that thing. Oh, God, Tina. Tina
but
makes
there's
cool
there's some cute stuff there, so you know.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so what do you want to talk about?
So much. But let me say something first. Because on our last episode, my favorite imaginary boyfriend, Roman Roy, I said his name was Rory Culkin. This is not Rory. Rory is a brother in the Culkin family. But on Succession, playing Roman Roy, it's Kieran.
Kieran.
Oh my God, I said his name wrong again. Too. No, because I said it first, and then you picked up on it. And as soon as we were done and I was editing, I looked up, I was like, Google Rory Culkin, and I was like, that's not him, and that's not the right one. Oh my God. Of course, I had to wait 2 weeks to make the correction.
Oopsies.
But really, it's a week for you guys. Yeah. But Kieran Culkin.
Ooh, hi.
Oh my God. By the way, this last episode where he basically it's almost like, I think the guy who, did you see the one from Sunday?
No.
Okay.
Wait, did I?
Where it was the election night.
Election night. Tell me something else that happened.
It was they basically found out Shiv was working with, what's his name?
Oh. I don't know.
Girl, we can talk about it?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Let's skip it.
No, you talk about it anyway. It doesn't matter.
No, that's okay. But our beloved Roman is not so great in this episode. He's not so great.
No.
Yeah, and
I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait.
But it's still an amazing show. By the way, there's only 2 episodes left after this.
Oh, dang.
This is the last season.
I forget what was happening Sunday that I didn't watch it.
Well, you probably have a life, so.
No.
But
I always make sure to watch it. So I don't know.
So
there was probably something with my children. Oh, maybe my son.
Another great show on HBO that you might not be watching is called Somebody Somewhere. And the comedian actress whose show it is, well, I don't think she created the show. Bridget Everett. She's incredible. And there's this guy, Jeff Hiller, who's on the show. He plays Joel. So funny. He's so funny. But it's about this little small town in Kansas and this little family.
I need something light and fun.
She's kind of floating through life, not really, knowing what she wants to do. But she's an incredible singer, and it's this really beautiful community, and it's so good. You should watch it.
Yes.
I love shows like this. What else?
Well, let's dig into.
All right, let's go.
Let's dig into it.
I want to read this. Oh.
There's so many.
Well, the first thing, because this happened while we were gone, is on May 10th, CNN decided to give a platform to a fucking racist, rapist, misogynist, fucking pig.
So we now, I will never look at watch CNN.
Oh no,
I don't give a shit.
Go fuck yourself, CNN.
Yes.
Seriously, go fuck yourself.
Because the owner,
Anderson Cooper, you too. You can go fuck yourself too.
The new owner of CNN is a Trumpy.
Well, and apparently he wants balance on the network, but this is not how you do it. This is not, you don't, balance. You can have a reasonable Republican literally on.
Throw a Liz Cheney on there or something.
Yeah, without giving a platform to somebody who incited an insurrection in our country. And was at the lead of an insurrection to overthrow the government.
And he had just lost. He had just lost a case about assault and came on and insulted this woman again. And I swear to God, I hope she sues him again for defamation of character, because
she should.
It's unbelievable that he just he's so fucking foul. I don't get the people who look up to this man, that anyone, because I'm sure most people have women in their lives that they look up to this fucking nut job. Him and his little mini version, DeSantis. What do you think about DeSantis and the cowboy boots? He's so desperate to be. He's so desperate to be tall.
Listen to me. If you're wearing cowboy boots with a suit, Dan Daly, I gotta tell you, you look ridiculous. I don't know. What looks more ridiculous: the cowboy boots on Daly and DeSantis, or the Air Jordans on Moskowitz, who, by the way, started a sneaker caucus.
Oh, hey.
Did you know that?
I didn't.
It's both sides of the aisle. If you love sneakers, you're part of the sneaker caucus. This motherfucker will not let it go. He loves those damn shoes.
It's his thing.
He does.
It's his thing.
Listen,
have it.
You know why? You know why you can have it? Because you're doing the fucking work. That's right.
That's
so take your fucking sneakers
and
baby. Fly, bitch. Like, yes. It's good. It's good.
Do you.
I can't. I mean, you know, every time he'd come, when he was running and he'd come into a meeting with the sneakers, I'd say to Tina, look at this. I know. That motherfucker's wearing those sneakers again.
He's into it. But listen.
But it's an odd look. It's an odd look.
But he holds people accountable. And
he fucking does the work.
God, because, you know, I wasn't sure. You know, somebody new coming, you're not sure. And I'm like, yes, let's go. But the cowboy boots, I can get it maybe for...
It's very feminine to me,
I can get it for...
they got a bit of a heel on it.
Well, I mean, DeSantis needs the heel, this poor man.
Right.
This poor little everywhere
impotent
man. I mean, God sucks.
Motherfucker got married at Disney.
Yeah.
By the way, my sister called me. She goes, or she texted me, DeSantis got married at Disney because she's in the podcast. I'm like, can you believe that?
Oh my God. What an idiot.
What an idiot.
Well, that can segue into the latest Disney with him.
Girl. So here we go. So
texted me earlier
Florida,
this week.
yeah. So Disney had a plan. I mean, this wasn't something that was just like, hey, this is an idea, and now we're not going to do it. This was like when you have a large construction development plan, it goes on for years, and you buy that land and you buy the pieces around it, and then you start to develop what it's going to be. And so Disney, the corporation, had a plan to build a new office building there and all these other buildings, a new Imagineering, facility. They were going to relocate all these employees from California to start the department. We have the department here in Orlando.
Jobs.
It was 2,000 jobs. It was starting salary, $120,000 for the people who are working there. This was not low paying jobs. They were high paying jobs. A lot of the employees, some of the employees have already relocated from California. And some of them said, we don't want to relocate, and resigned from their positions.
Because of DeSantis.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, there's other reasons. Yes. The political climate, they don't want to come here. But also, like, if you're living there and you have your family, like, you don't want to uproot your family and move to Florida. And so they resign their positions. Now, on May 18th, Disney said, we are now going to cancel this project. Yep. It was a $17 billion project.
I mean, that's money for our
state. I'm sorry. It was a $1 billion project. It was a $17 billion investment that Disney's actually promised to make in the state over the next 10 years. But this was a $1 billion for the part of it.
$17 billion that our state now doesn't have. And all your Republicans out there, which Republicans are pro-business.
They're supposed to be.
Right? Like, that's your jam. Business, money. I don't understand. I don't understand how you're supporting someone that's throwing money out of our state. I mean, if one thing you're going to get pissed about, like, can you get pissed about the money at least? Maybe you don't give a shit about all, like, the real important issues, but maybe, like, you can start thinking, like, this guy's an idiot.
It's really disturbing. But also, like, that's their right. And you know what? Because I work in the construction business, all I could think about were the people who are already invested in this project.
Yeah.
The construction work, like the people, the companies who have invested in the plans.
They were so lovely.
And the architects excited. And all these people who are being paid.
God.
And we're like, had a future in this project.
Putting crews together.
$1 billion project goes on for years and years. I mean, it's a big deal. And so now Disney's talking to those employees that have already relocated about sending them back. Also, what about the people who left their jobs? Can they have their jobs back? Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, what a mess.
Gavin Newsom, though, was like, hey, thanks, DeSantis, because now we can hire we can give people of our state jobs.
Yeah.
So he like completely. I mean, I love that these opposite coast guys. East Coast, West Coast, what? Yeah. But Gavin Newsom, man, called him out.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and I also think that this is not the last we're going to hear of this, because another thing that's happening right now is E-Verify. And E-Verify, I don't know if you've seen these TikToks, but there's like Latino TikTok, there's like Black Twitter, but Latino TikTok where these construction workers are showing like ghost towns on construction job sites throughout Florida, because he signed a law to make E-Verify mandatory. E-Verify is you hire an employee, there's a federal website, you go onto the website, you put in the person's name and their social security number from the information they gave you on their application and the IDs they're showing you, and it'll tell you if that's a match, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of these guys get their cards from the back of a truck sometimes, and they're not real, but because they're undocumented.
Right.
And companies sometimes E-Verify and sometimes they don't, and now they've made it mandatory that you have to E-Verify employees within 3 days of them starting on the first day of their job. And if you don't E-Verify, and by the way they're certifying it, because I looked it up, is every quarter when you file your state unemployment tax as a construction or as a company, they're going to ask you to certify that you E-Verified all your employees.
Oh, wow.
The new employees starting July 1st, 2023. Anybody who starts on July 1st moving forward, you have to E-Verify. If you don't, if you're caught within 3 times in like a 3-month period that you haven't E-Verified, you have to pay $1,000 fine. And if you continue to do that, like for every day until you've rectified it.
Oh my God.
And if you don't and like you continue to get fines or whatever, you could lose your business license, which is huge. That's huge.
And the thing is with this governor, again, who is so, to me, this is like just irresponsibility. The agriculture people of Florida, like our farmers and stuff that do hire migrant workers and undocumented workers, like that industry, that's going to hit our industry. Like that's a Florida industry.
Yeah.
Like it's
huge. It already has. It
is already impacting it. Like, and people again are leaving the state.
Yeah.
And DeSantis, are you going to go do that work?
And by the way, if somebody's undocumented and they're getting a paycheck with taxes taken out, they're paying taxes.
They're paying taxes.
They're paying taxes into the system. And the thing about E-Verify is it's going to affect a lot of businesses. It does keep like bad employers, it keeps them in check, because sometimes they'll pay them off the books, or they'll pay them little, or they'll say, what are you going to do? Because they know they're undocumented, right. And it's kind of like a threat. So it does keep that kind of thing in check, but it really will affect job sites and the produce
and families. Yeah, produce. My God, but the families, because now they're afraid that maybe their children are going to get deported, or they're afraid to show up to work. I don't understand.
Show up to work? They can't. You know what else is in there? The bill that passed that you don't have to give somebody care if you don't agree with whoever they are or what they are. They also hospitals have to get the immigration status of people. So people aren't going to go to the doctors. They're not going to go to hospitals when they're sick and injured. This was the same thing with the abortion bill, where you had to have parental consent. If a girl was born here, and her parents aren't documented, and she gets pregnant, how is her parent going to be able to go into court if they're undocumented? Right. The girl's going to have to carry that baby. There's nothing that she's going to be able to do. It's a way to shine a light. But the worst part is this at the end of the day when it comes to immigration. The system is fucking broken. We talked about it before on the podcast. How dare you set these limits on companies, on human beings who are here trying to do the work. The hardest working motherfuckers you're ever going to meet show up every single day and work fucking hard. How are you going to do that and then demand they become citizens when your system takes 15 to 20 years to actually get your citizenship, besides thousands and thousands of dollars? How can you expect that of people?
I don't know.
It's bullshit. It's all a fucking cycle of bullshit. So just let people work. They're not hurting anybody.
Right.
Who are they hurting?
But for him, this is another thing for his little presidential campaign.
Right, that's the thing.
So he can stand at the podium and say, we got rid of immigrants and we got rid of the whatever the gangs they want to talk about. Yeah. It's so ridiculous. He just
sent Florida troops to the National Guard from Florida to the border of Texas.
Oh God!
It's costing us $1 million in taxpayer dollars. $1 million.
God, what a little. This man is. He's so teeny tiny. I heard something too that he changed the way his name sounds. Did you hear that?
No.
So DeSantis, supposedly his wife said, because I think he used to say DeSantis, right? DeSantis, but she said, why don't you soften it a little with DeSantis? Basically, like, that's racist, right? Like, you don't want your name to sound a certain way.
Well, we know what she's about.
Ooh.
There's a hit piece out on her right now. I got to go read it. I forgot where it was, but it's something all about Casey DeSantis.
Yes. DeSantis.
There is a big, like you mentioned with Trump, the E. Jean Carroll won the sexual assault case against Trump and was awarded $5 million. That's incredible.
Is he going to pay that money?
He's going to have to. I mean, any good lawyer would tell him to give her the money and fucking get away from this. But he's an idiot, he just wants to ruin people.
I hope she's again. Jesus.
So here's something that's a bright spot in Florida that happened this week, and that is that Donna Deegan was elected mayor in Jacksonville.
My God.
In Duval County. Fucking big ups to Duval Dems. Good work.
Listen.
Good work.
Duval Dems. Hi.
Hi.
Can you please come to Broward County?
Yeah.
Can we have a training session? And, or really all over the state. We need to know what you did. We need to know what was your plan. Can we see the plan? And can you send it out? That's all. Help us out.
And here's the thing.
I want to know what they did.
And here's the thing.
Because that is like red.
Yeah. And you know what else?
Huge.
It doesn't have to be an anonymous letter. Because if you send an anonymous letter, Broward Dems won't read it. And then they'll just go, this is nothing. And they throw it away in the wind. So don't send it anonymously. Please put your name on it so we know where it came from. Because God forbid.
But
we acknowledge anonymous information from people.
Yeah.
God forbid.
I would love to know what was their plan. And I know that she was a TV personality, and I'm sure that helped because she's a face that was familiar. I think she was
I had no idea.
I believe she was like a newscaster, so I get that she had recognition that way. But I would love to know what they did. I would love to know what they did. And let's implement it across the state.
Also,
you know what I mean? Like, here's something that did work. Let's try to implement it. Let's have this line of communication over here.
There's a couple things happening here. First of all, the person she was running against, who was like the lead person, was a DeSantis guy. So it's a message that this extreme thing is not going to work here anymore. They're not into it anymore. And DeSantis doesn't help. You're running in an election as a DeSantis Republican while this session is happening. Oh God, I don't know how these motherfuckers are going back to their counties right now or their districts and facing people. Yeah. I bet it's a shit show. I bet it's an absolute shit show.
Because I know that there are, the base, I know that there are some cuckoo people, but I still want to believe in my heart that there are Republicans who are these more like fiscally conservative or whatever kind of folks that don't want to see the LGBTQ community harmed, that don't want to, that don't want to see immigrants being harmed. Like I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that they're good people, and they're gonna, they have to have a reckoning and say, yes, we want to maybe have a Republican, but we don't want your kind of Republican, and start, But there was that the white supremacists marching. It was on Mother's Day. A band of white, I forget what state. They all had their masks.
Oh, yeah.
They all cover their face, right? Because they're so proud. Mm-hmm. The Proud Boys, right? These proud men to be white supremacists. They all hide their face, right? It's such bullshit. Because I feel like if you want to go walk around and be disgusting, let everybody know it. If you're so, like, this is who you are, but you know that everyone's going to think you're a fucking dirtbag.
I love that they wear masks. I love it.
Such cowards.
Yeah.
Cowards. These are men who just, I don't know, they've been damaged somehow. But like, go figure, go to therapy, please. Go to therapy. You're damaged.
Again, get a hobby, bro. Get a fucking fucking hobby. Like, there's something about white supremacists, these motherfuckers who are out there. Like, I saw a video of them, like, doing a march in a line. They couldn't even get it together. Like, I mean, you know, I'm sorry that you have...
There's no rhythm. It's white people.
True.
What do you want?
I don't know. But training in the backwoods of Lakeland or wherever the fuck you are, Ocala, back in the woods where you hear...
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like, whatever the fuck's happening back there, get a fucking life. Seriously. Before I ever put on a mask and started marching with white supremacists, I'd be like, damn, there's a new season of Succession starting tomorrow. Like, find some shit to do. You know what's really good right now? Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. Yeah. Go fucking find something to watch on TV. Go lay out in the sun. I'm going to name all the things I do. Go swimming in the pool. Go find really good frozen pizza somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, go find something else to do. Go to Goodwill, do some clothes.
Ooh, I love Goodwill. Go improve your life. Once you start improving yourself, you know, maybe you'll get a date.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sorry your life is so low that you have to blame all the other people around you because your life is shit.
Like,
go fuck yourself. Like,
it's an age. The worst part, they're little bullies.
Yeah, but the worst part is that it's an age-old story. You're not even original. Like, all of the things that like Anita Bryant did and that she said, like, all of these things that y'all did, it's repetition. It's all the KKK's been around since the 1800s. Yeah. You're not new, bitch. Come at me with something new, with a new idea.
And most people didn't like them then, and most people don't like you now.
Yeah, you suck.
You suck. Like little babies.
Yeah.
They should have little pacifiers attached to the mask.
Like, doesn't it sound so good to, like, sit down, have a drink, and have, like, a great conversation about something? Like, enjoy your life. Like, doesn't that sound like a fucking fun thing to do? What are you doing? Yeah. Why are you out there with a mask over your face and getting videotaped marching out of rhythm? What are you doing? We got nothing else to do.
I saw a guy on a bike who was like hanging out.
Like, yes! And he was yelling at them, like, your mother doesn't love you.
He's like, your mom doesn't love you. Like, I was like, this guy is amazing. Yeah. It was so good.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. They think they're so tough, and it's your little crew might think you're tough. Maybe some of the hangers on, maybe there's some fangirls that are like, wow, you're so tough. The rest of us think that you're lame and that you're boys.
Yeah.
You're little baby boys. There's nothing tough about you. Mm-mm. You're cowards. You're cowards. Go hide under your mat. Go hide under
What
a
a real
blanket.
man does is examines their life in a realistic way and does something about it. A real man don't put on his Wranglers and his fucking lame ass boots and stands in the woods anonymously, marching and doing like Hail Hitler bullshit.
So
like, we don't do that. Like, get the fuck out of this.
Get out. So, I wanted to mention one news story that, one, I want to talk about the trans bill.
Oh, wait, okay.
You wanted to?
I was going to talk about that woman, that big story in the Washington Post.
Okay.
So Deborah Dorbert is a resident here in Florida. She found out at 23 weeks they were trying to have a baby, and they found out it's a big, huge Washington Post story. It's incredible. It's called The Short Life of Milo, Baby Milo. And they found out at 23 weeks that he had a condition where his kidneys weren't growing, and so they wanted to have an abortion. And the doctor said, we can't do this while the baby still has a heartbeat. And so in this story, her Catholic father is also interviewed. And he said what the state of Florida has done is absolute torture. She had to wait until she could get to a certain amount of weeks so she can be induced and give birth to the baby.
And I believe she couldn't afford to leave the state, I think.
I mean, probably, yeah. They had a son
already. That was one of the issues, too, that she couldn't go to another state to try to get this done, so they were sort of stuck in Florida. Yeah,
and there's a part in the story where the grandfather, after she delivers the baby, he's holding the baby, and he said the baby looked like perfectly healthy. It was very small, obviously. God. It was very small, but the baby was doing this.
Oh my
like
God.
This. And he said, I kept calling it hiccups, but he was gasping for air because his lungs weren't developed either. Like, there was nothing.
Oh my God.
So
why would you do that to the baby?
Yes, that part made me fucking, I was sobbing.
I'm gonna cry. Like,
that this woman, this woman's walking around, they're like, and people are like, oh, you're having a baby. And she knows.
God.
And they had explained to their 4-year-old why this little boy wasn't gonna be coming home.
Oh my God.
The absolute
emotional
fucking torture that they put this family through.
I hope they sue the fuck out of this state.
Yeah. The absolute torture. This is not for this.
These goddamn assholes that are all standing there with their stupid baby signs.
Yeah.
They should. That's what they should have to witness.
Yeah.
Is a baby dying because of you. Because you don't give a shit about people and you don't give a shit about babies. You pretend that you do.
When they say abortion is healthcare, that's what this is an example of that. This is an example of that.
It's incredible to me the way that they somehow believe that they're helping people, and it's the furthest thing from that.
And literally the amount of abortions is so low. The amount of women who actually have abortions, it's not even a number that it should be considered. And when we talk about abortion being accessible and safe, this is another example of that. This is a family that wanted to have this baby, and the baby was never going to live. Going to live.
For it to suffer to be born and suffer, my God.
Yes, gasping for air.
Oh my God.
They named the baby.
They shouldn't have. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to women?
I don't know, but if you have a lifelong Catholic grandfather telling you that the laws you created are torture, you should understand that. And also, it's sad that we have to get to the point where I don't know how he felt about abortion before. I don't know.
Right.
But if this is what changed your mind, like, you should be on a speaking tour at Catholic churches.
Really?
You really should.
Really?
You should be giving speeches at the Catholic Church to let people know what DeSantis is doing. When you make blanket laws like this, never works. It never works.
And the thing is, you guys are basing your whole religion, right, on this book, the Bible. And there's nothing in the Bible about abortion saying that abortion is bad and that you're going to go to hell for it. This is stuff that's been concocted.
I just don't think
it's been concocted by... I mean, oh God, the Catholic Church has done it for years, from where, priests used to be able to get married and have children, but then the church wanted that property, right? So then, okay, we're going to be celibate, right? Like they changed the rules to suit what they needed to suit for them at the time, right? And these are men, these are human beings that are making these rules, right? There's no God in anyone's ear saying abortion is evil, right? No, that's not happening.
And nowhere in the Jewish faith, nowhere in the Muslim faith, nowhere in the Catholic faith is there anything that says anything about abortion's illegal.
No.
Nowhere.
No.
Nowhere.
You guys are making it up. You're making it up. And I wish, and I know I've said it before, but God, I would love to just have more and more of the photos of what a very early term abortion looks like, where it's, a little clump that's it would barely be on like a head of a pin.
Yeah,
what I mean?
In contrast to a child that's born.
That has to be born.
That is suffocating.
Give me a break. I wanted to bring up the transgender bill because I read a story about a trans girl who is leaving the state.
Oh, I love her. I know her. I know her. Robin. I met her at the LGBTQ caucus a couple years ago. And she was incredible there. She was incredible there. And I said to Alfredo, holy shit, this woman is incredible. And she works for NASA. She's a fucking space engineer, some shit. She's incredible. And she was actually the vice president of the, here she is, Robin. She was actually the vice president of the LGBTQ Dems for a while, and Robin Witt. And you can follow her at Robin Witt, WITTFL. And yeah, her story went viral because she shared that she was leaving. She can't stay here. How is she going to stay here?
It's not safe.
No. Their drugs are not available anymore. You cannot get the hormone drugs that you need in Florida as an adult anymore.
As a grown adult,
you will have to
making decisions for your own body.
People have to detransition, or I'd imagine get these things illegally somewhere over the internet. I have no idea.
Of that, because you don't know what the hell you're getting, or traveling to a different state and trying to work with a doctor in a different state and seeing if they'll like.
But even if you're here, you can't go to the bathroom in public. If someone questions you, can't go to the fucking bathroom in public.
And the thing is that the more that these laws are being passed, the more that we're going to start seeing dangerous acts, right, happening to members of the LGBTQ plus community. Like, that's just a matter of fact. We're going to see more violence towards members of this community because we're losing the ability to have tolerance. right? We're it's so disgusting. I like to go all these years where we're building towards a future where everyone is accepted to now go so far backwards.
There's a neighborhood in Orlando, and last week, you know those signs that are like on the street when they're doing construction, and it's like lane closed ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody changed it, and it said "kill all gays."
Yeah.
And
yeah, I saw that story.
That's what happens.
Yep.
And this isn't a regular neighborhood in Orlando. Like, this is what happens when you ban LGBTQ history. And it's going to get worse. Because then people don't understand the history and the compassion and how hard that community had to fight to get the rights and the respect that they fucking deserve for as long as they've had to fight and are continuing to fight, clearly. This is what happens when you demonize pride shows and drag shows and tell people that that's criminal. You create bigots. You create bigots and you create the othering. They are bad. They are worse than us.
And then, did you see, I think it was Tampa somewhere, like they're
yes,
gonna
they canceled Pride. They canceled fucking Pride in Tampa. They're scared. By the way,
God, they still have Pride.
Let me tell you something. Wilton Manors is like, go fuck yourself. Good. Not only that, Chris Caputo, the commissioner in Wilton Manors, is dressing in drag for Pride.
Let's go.
We all should be dressing in drag for Pride. That's what we should do.
We should.
What are you going to do? Arrest us? Fuck you. There's no fucking way. Wilton Manors is not fucking playing around. And the Wilton Manors Entertainment Group is the one who puts on Pride. They are 100% supporting. This is not, we are not doing that. They're not putting an age limit on it. They're not doing anything like that. And they shouldn't. And let DeSantis come into Wilton Manors, the second largest gay community in the United States, and tell people what the fuck. No, that's not going to happen.
Please.
Go fuck yourself.
Please.
Fuck you. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
And then I have one more thing.
Yeah.
Because this story, I've been trying to follow, and I want to show you this lady's face. But I don't know if you heard about the 5th grade teacher.
Oh my God. I've seen
Jenna Barbie.
I've seen the board member.
Oh my God.
It's my favorite. I would look at it again though if you had the picture.
I too. So she showed Strange Worlds, and I don't know if you guys
I've never
have
seen it.
I watched it with my kids. It's a Disney movie. And there is a character in there that has like a crush on this other kid, right? Like, it's no big deal. My kids watched it. My youngest watched it a couple of times. There was no, he didn't even pause. You know what I mean? Like, we just watched it and he was like, oh, okay, like, no big deal. So she shows her 5th grade class. And the thing that's crazy is the school board member, Shannon Rodriguez, she's like a Moms for Liberty in that job. And let's look at her picture.
Oh God.
What is it?
They all look
they all look the same.
I know.
They have this, the hair.
Yeah.
It's this weird white blonde lady thing.
Yeah. Well, here's what's happening here.
This blonde and crazy eyes and cuckoo.
We got to put this picture up because let me tell you something. There's something about it's a white lady thing too, but there's a Kardashian vibe, and there's also like you know what I mean. Like they're trying to be up on like trends of like big curly and they're trying to do, and they also want to look professional. But here's the problem.
You're crazy.
Crazy doesn't go away in a picture. So your hair and your giant eyeballs, but like you look like a fucking insane person.
You look insane. But here's the thing, and I hope that this teacher, now they're indoctrinating. She's indoctrinating. Guess what? This lady just wants to grade all of the stack of papers that are on her desk, so she throws a movie on so that it's the end of the year, let's get things done. Like, she's not indoctrinating anyone. She's like, oh, cool, Disney movie, great. They're watching that. I can get some work done. Like, okay.
Well, here's the thing. At the school, you have to have parents at the beginning of the year sign a permission slip saying that kids are allowed to watch Disney, G-rated Disney movies or whatever. PG, fine. And all the kids that were sitting there because there was testing, so the kids that were left in her room, she had all of the permission slips for them to watch those movies. Yes. So she didn't do anything wrong.
So, but here's the thing. That school board member's child is one of the one parent that complained is the school board member. And she didn't go to the teacher and say, hey, I'm upset that you showed this movie. What happened? She didn't go to the principal. She went directly to the state. And now the state wants to bring in people to interview these children.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, if that was my kid, I'd say, go fuck yourself. You're not interviewing my child.
No.
This is ridiculous. And that one woman is doing this. I know I keep saying everybody should sue, but this lady needs to go after the school board member. It's ridiculous that she would, and I feel like that this is on purpose. right? I feel like, I'm going to sign this form, and she's waiting. She's waiting for the moment to be able to pounce on somebody. Well, that's what it felt like to me.
She signed the form. I feel like this girl has her own. She's fine. I don't see how this is going to impact her career, and it shouldn't. But I don't think it will.
So like,
well, this woman wants to be famous.
So every single TV show, every single book, everything that has anything gay, like, it's gone. Like, you can't even see
Tina,
it. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Well, if you don't have to look at a book or watch a movie, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it doesn't exist.
All right, today, I'm going to tell you the story of former Superintendent Richard Como.
Okay.
All right, Superintendent Richard Como had a promising career in education, but text messages brought his career crashing down.
Oh boy, not text messages.
I know. This guy's nuts. All right, so our story takes place in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philly. And I couldn't find a lot of background on this guy, save for the fact that he served in education for 42 years.
Dang.
And 8 of those years, he was a superintendent. And Pennsylvania court documents gave a little more information, noting that he taught from 1969 to 1983. Then he retired, he received his benefits, and then came back to the district in various roles beginning in 1986, eventually becoming superintendent in 2005. So, the major incident. There are 2 things happening with the major incident. So one thing is the thing that led to an investigation, and then the other thing is like what the investigation found. So the first thing is pretty awful and vile, but it started with text messages. So David Chang of NBC News 10 Philadelphia reported how things went down. So there was this guy who was the director of athletics and activities, Jim Donato. He asked a district IT guy to fix his phone, okay? And as the staffer is working on the phone, he saw all these racist texts being exchanged between Donato, athletics guy, and the superintendent.
Oh my God.
And the texts were gross, so I'm not even going to say.
Wait, what?
Like I'm not going to, because they're bad. But I mean, I'll give some information.
Like N-word?
N-word.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's awful. So,
I mean, when you find somebody else, though, that will text the N-word, you have to become text buddies with that person, right? I mean, that's how this works. And who else is going to text that to you?
Well, the thing is, the athletic director was, like, using it to talk about a lot of the athletes.
Oh,
like the
no!
kids. Like, talking about the students.
No!
Yeah. So, and what's more?
Oh my God!
Is
Philly? No, it's not Philly.
The Philadelphia reported that some of those texts were even about the IT guy who was repairing the phone. So
holy shit!
He's like,
oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
He's reading like offensive stuff about
himself.
No! Can you imagine finding that about yourself? From someone that you work with.
If you are texting about how nice my tits are, we got a problem. Call me all the names you want, but you better say I got nice tits and a good personality, honey.
God, can you imagine this? Like you're like, dude.
No, dude, that's fucked up. That is. But by the way, what a dick move that you know that chick's on your phone and you ask this motherfucker to help you. What?
So I think
like
it was something
he really didn't think he was gonna get caught,
right? And I don't know if it was like later, like when he was like refurbishing the phone, maybe like he had traded in for. I don't know what it was, but like because IT's got to go in and clear shit out, and they see all your shit.
Oh,
if it's a work
God.
phone, why are you doing this on a work phone to begin with? That's what I want to know.
Listen, we've had plenty of employees who had phones. I had took them back, and I was like, "There's dick pics on here. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?" And it's a work phone.
Oh my God!
I threw it in the river. I was like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with your dick pics on here.
Oh, that's hilarious. So that staffer reports what he found to the school board. So he says hey, I found this on the phone. So according to Michael Price of the Reporter,
by the way, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for fucking you. Yeah. Good for you.
So once the allegations from the text messages hit, Como is out, right? He resigns right away in August 2013, and that's right around the start of school. So though he resigned, it seems that there still may have been an attempt to cover things up beforehand.
Ooh.
So acting assistant superintendent at the time, Dr. Teresa Powell, alleged that she was offered a promotion if she'd keep things on the hush hush.
Girl,
but
no.
thankfully she didn't.
Oh, good.
And then after the scandal leaked, school board president Neil Campbell stated, quote, "The racist and sexist language expressed by the two men was sickening and obviously unacceptable."
Sexist too?
Yeah, they were writing all kind of crazy stuff.
They hit all the bad points.
Yeah. So, here's the thing though.
Oh no.
The messages start the ball rolling, right? And along with the disgusting, derogatory, pejorative language that's all over these texts, there was also some text talking about money.
Money. Give it to me.
So,
oh God.
So
this is scumbags. I mean, between each other.
Right.
So they're fucking racist and they're thieves. Right. I mean, Jesus maron.
Yeah. So the money scandal comes out, but it's a little while. So the texting scandal happens, and I guess they're investigating through that, and so by the time the indictment comes out for the money, that's around 2015, because I guess they had to take time to put everything together and investigate what are those texts talking about and dig into it.
Oh my gosh.
So allegedly, Como defrauded the district out of thousands of dollars.
That's why he left, by the way.
So
as soon as he said something, he's like, "I'm out, bye," because he's like, "I don't want them to find anything else. I'm just gonna leave."
Yep.
Oh,
so
bruh.
How do they figure this all out? So the thing that I love about all of these money scams is the different ways people try to funnel money in the different avenues.
Yeah.
So
sneaky.
There were some smaller thefts, and then there was the slightly bigger one. So during the trial, witnesses testified to some of the smaller thefts. Price of the reporter reported on witness statements, and one was from a general contractor, Dana Beach of Downingtown, who said that he got a district check in the amount of $3,000 for a generator, despite the fact that the generator wasn't the right size. And once the contractor gets the check, right, he signs it back over to Como, which is a little weird, right? Because why would the contractor do that, right? The contractor would keep the money, but I guess because it wasn't the right size, he gave a check back, but then Como
cashed it,
keeps the check.
Wow.
So Como said the money went to the school, but when they looked into it, it went directly into his personal bank account.
Oh my God.
And that's $3,000, right? It's so petty.
But also the superintendent's name shouldn't be on a check anywhere.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the authorization to sign the back of a check.
Yeah, so whatever. So according to Price, Como's bigger scheme involved high school championship football rings. So a student council advisor, Trish Thompson, testified that she gave Como around $6,000 from t-shirt sales. So this is someone at a school, a teacher who's advising the sports club or whatever, athletics, who knows what. And at schools they do brownie sales and all these other things. They want to raise money, right? So she gives him $6,000 with the idea from t-shirt sales that it was going to help the football team, right? She then transferred to him another $8,000 from the student council account to pay for state championship rings for the football team. And he assured her that the money was going to be returned. She noted that only $4,000 was returned. So she gave him $14,000 and he puts back $4,000, right? And you're taking from kids at a school. It's so gross. So additionally, Como was using the money from summer school payments for these rings as well, right? I'm going to say rings with air quotes around them. And so I didn't see anything as far as how much money was used or even if the rings were purchased, but I don't think they were, because CBS News reported that he stole about $33,000 for the rings. And P.S., the football team didn't even win the state championship in 2012, so there wasn't even a need for state championship rings.
So she was earning the money in case they won it?
And
what the fuck?
I know. The guy's an idiot.
It's not right.
So, you
better go to jail for this.
Yeah, so he's charged, of course, with the basically the funneling of this money, and he's sentenced in March of 2018. He was given 2 to 3 months in county jail. The prosecutors wanted him to go to state prison, and according to Mike Rellan of the Mercury, Como's team wanted only probation, right? So they want to send him to state.
Imagine?
He wants probation, so the judge kind of splits the difference and is like, all right, you're going to go to jail, but it'll be county jail. So, which isn't, I guess, as bad as the state prison for his jail time. So, and he also got 3 years probation. Como spoke at sentencing to say, quote, My time in education was very rewarding.
Ugh.
I'm sorry it ended the way it did, and apologize. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I was trying to honor a team. I apologize for all the difficulties it has had to endure. I would mostly like to ask the court to take into account my total background. And then he also said, I've suffered greatly. I was trying to help people along the way, and I don't think I did something blatantly guilty. I had a great career, and I think I'm a great person.
He's a dick. That is the worst fucking letter I've ever heard. That's like one of the worst we've ever heard on this podcast. Like, there's no responsibility taken at all. I'm sorry, but it's not a fucking apology.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, the fact that he says, I don't think I did something blatantly guilty.
Yeah. I was only trying to help. You're a fucking liar.
And not to mention you're a racist asshole.
This is why he should go to state prison. Right. This is why. Because he's not apologetic. He would do it all over again, believe me. Where's the money, motherfucker? Right. Where is it? Where's the money you stole from kids?
From kids?
Oh, you had a rewarding career? Of course you did. You lined your fucking bank account with it, bitch. The fuck out of here.
The judge, Judge Gavin, had this to say in response. If ever there was a house divided against itself, this is it. Some love you, some don't. The court is not going to bridge that gap. And he said, everything you worked for is down the drain. You have disgraced yourself. So I guess there were people that were like, just give him probation, and people that were like, throw the book at him. And there were people, I watched a couple video clips, and there's people that, are so upset that really more upset, I think, about the racism than the money. But people were like, okay, we're going to hold back just to see what the court does. And,
Wow.
I know. The assistant DAs in the case, Brian Barak and Andrea Cardamone, had this to say, according to Relihan's report. We hope that the school district can now move on to a new chapter and that public servants everywhere learn a simple lesson. If you engage in corruption, you're going to go to jail. So, the aftermath. According to Relihan, the judge also ruled that Como can no longer ever attend another sporting event at the school. None. And so Como went to every sporting event. He was like really involved all the time, going to all this stuff.
Red flag.
And boom, he can't do any of that.
Red flag.
And ABC News reported that the district was going to provide mandatory sensitivity training for employees as a result of their text exchanges. And another thing I thought was funny is that the district removed text messages, the capability to text message from all the district employee phones.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
But it's like, so now people got to make phone calls. Nobody wants to call.
Too bad, Tina. You're going to have to call, okay?
They just want to send a quick text.
No.
Now you got to pick up the phone. And you got to be like, blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to do that.
But you know what else? Nobody wants to babysit you motherfuckers. Like, I'm sorry. You have to send racist and sexist texts.
Oh, my God.
Like, if your moral compass is that low, of course you're stealing money. Like, he has there's nothing he's bound to except, trash. Yeah. I mean, he's a trash person.
So some points of interest. One thing that was a bit outrageous was that when Como resigned after the racist text, he got $40,000.
What?
According to David Ching's report for NBC 10 Philadelphia, $13,200 was for 330 unused sick days, and $27,691 was for 30 unused vacation things. The other thing was that the payout happened before...
This is bullshit.
Before...
Get that money back.
The board voted to accept his resignation.
No, get that money back.
So he knows. Yeah. He knows that he's going to get fired. So then he's like, I'm going to resign. I'm going to get... I don't know why they would have cashed him out before the board... before they went through it, but they cashed him out. It's a little curious to me. They're
his friends.
They're
his friends. By the way...
I have a couple of them. So another article from Philadelphia noted that Como also got $100,000 severance package when he resigned as well. Which, again, it's kind of fucked up to me.
Yeah, he shouldn't get anything. Take the money out that he stole from this fucking money. How hard is that to do?
I know. Another article from the Times and Suburban noted that he got a lump sum payout of about $306,000 from the state pension fund, and he was also receiving $15,000 a month from the pension too. So I think what he did is he pulled his pension out, and then because once you get convicted, you don't have your pension anymore. So he pulled it out beforehand, a lot of it. And then the same article noted that Hawa, who was the IT guy who found the text, and Powell, who was that acting assistant superintendent who was like, I'm not taking the bribe and I'm gonna. They ended up facing a hostile work environment after they spoke up about what Como and Donato were doing.
What's happening in this county?
So things like no raises, being passed over for promotions.
What?
Yes. And the article further noted that they were seeking an unspecified amount of damages for what they endured. Now, I didn't see if there was any resolution to the lawsuit or not, but I'm hoping, like I tried to find it, but I didn't. I couldn't find it.
This fucking place is like Gotham.
Yeah, it's awful. And that's it. That's the story of the superintendent who learned a hard lesson.
We have to be smarter than the criminals.
I know.
If you've got somebody stealing from you, you don't then buy them out. You don't give them money. You don't. No. If they're writing racist and you can't give them money. Well, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? Like, give it a fucking breathing minute, because they're smarter than you. They're sneakier. He's gonna pull his pension out. You guys have to fucking watch what the hell's happening and pump the brakes for a minute.
And the rest of you that are gonna treat these two people like dirt because they did the right thing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
you want to be best buddies with a racist?
That's the problem. This guy sounds like he was like, hey, everybody, would go all the games. He's a great guy. But then when you find out he's writing the N-word about players on teams he's going to see and stealing money for their rings.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Maybe he's not this guy. Maybe that's a cover for the fact that he's a fucking bozo. And he knows he's a bozo. That's why he puts on this act. He does this. Because underneath, he's fucking garbage.
Oh my God.
Speaking of school boards, this Broward County School Board, they paid out all these people. They've been the superintendent after superintendent. And when who was the one before this one now? What was that lady's name? The last superintendent that they just let go? Cartwright. So when she came in, she let people go who were working there. And they're looking for money. They were compensated. They were given compensated. They were given severance. Yeah. Now they're looking at that, because you know how much money has been given out to people to buy out their contracts because they have to hire a new superintendent. They're there are tons of money to let people go. They're giving them severance, and now they're looking at that. Why are we giving all these people so much fucking money?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, now they're looking at it. Here's the other thing. I put this tweet out, and I stand by it. I know we don't like Broward County just made it where you next year the kids all have to have clear backpacks, and I know it's annoying, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care, because books are being banned.
I know.
History's being banned, and if people are going to the school board and screaming about clear backpacks, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Why aren't you screaming about the books?
Shut. You've lost sight of what is happening in your kid's school. Teachers are being punished for things, taking books off the shelves, showing a fucking movie, a PG Disney movie. You know what I'm saying? So who cares about clear backpacks? Honestly, I don't fucking care. I looked online on Amazon. I'm going to get one before they're all gone.
Yeah.
And my daughter will have to carry it, and that she'll just have to deal with it. Because here's the other thing. If she even complains to me, I'd be like, did you get your work done? Because that's what she should be focusing on. Let's all get our priorities fucking straight.
My son is very upset. He's like, I'm protesting. I'm going to show up. And I said, okay. I said, listen, you could protest all you want. They're not going to let you in the door. I said, but maybe you can organize kids. Maybe, I don't know. I said, but the most important thing is, if you don't like this kind of stuff, I said, the issue isn't the clear backpacks. The issue is gun control. That's where the issue is. So instead of wasting everybody's time and making us buy stupid clear backpacks, why don't we work on fixing the gun laws in this country?
Listen, I suggested that Broward County, these are things that aren't public, but I feel like they should, to justify these safety issues that they're trying to put in place, including the clear backpacks, why don't they just release the information of how many guns are pulled off of kids at school in Broward County every single week?
Yep.
Or list for the last year how many guns and weapons they've taken off of kids and out of their backpacks.
I would love
that. Let parents know, because then if you let them know that, because it's not public information, I think everybody's going to be like, where do I buy the clear backpack?
Right.
There are kids bringing weapons in that you don't even know about.
Or they might say, wow, maybe we should start rethinking the gun control laws in this country, in our state.
Who knows? I got to tell you, every time I know you live through it every day. And I talked to my friend who works at the school with you, and she told me the same thing. But how many times I get an email that there's a threat over at my daughter's school, or they're on lockdown for this, or they got a threat about this,
much.
and you're just waiting for the next email of everything's clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so clear backpack, show me your backpack.
Yeah.
And I also, like, there's people like, they shouldn't be telling us what. I agree with you. But also, I know that you had said something about having, what's it called? Metal detectors in school.
Oh.
I say put them in. I know, and it feels like you're going to a jail. Like, I get it. But this is where we're at. And until we have the laws to get those guns off the streets and out of kids' hands, they just lowered it to 18. Your school is full of 18-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, until we can figure that out and start flipping some motherfuckers, then, you know what I mean? Like, flipping seats and getting these things changed. I want my kid fucking safe who's in public school. You know? And you, I want you to be safe.
We just have, I feel like, such a lifelong damage from all of this.
It's really it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but we live in a state where they don't give a fuck about life. Clearly, we just talked about that woman and her poor family that had to suffer through this.
Did you hear about the guy, this asshole in, I forget what the hell state he's from, who stands outside a school bus stop with an AR-15 every day? What kind of man is doing this? Frightening children. Why?
Because he's pathetic. He's got nothing else to do. And if you're outside a school bus at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, why aren't you at work, bitch? Get a fucking job. Get a job. I just feel like if you have too much time on your hands, then get a second job.
Figure it out.
You have to find something else to do with your time. It can't be organizing with racist organizations and wearing masks and covering up your face. That's the thing that really that kills me more than anything.
He's like, I'm making a point. You're scaring children.
No,
is what you're doing.
It kills me more than anything in the whole world that racists want to hide. You don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to hide. Not in Florida. Not in Florida, you don't. Just come on out with it. You know, I have more respect for the fucking Proud Boys standing outside synagogues yelling horrible names at people who are showing their faces on videos. At least they're fucking putting themselves out there. And at least the FBI can track them that way.
Track them and take them
But
down.
you're going to cover up your face and be a punk-ass bitch? Mm-hmm. All right. Woo. All right.
Well.
Oh, wait. I wanted to say one other thing.
Okay.
2 other things. One of them was that after Donna Deegan won in Jacksonville, also shout out to our Odd Pods members in Jacksonville who also voted for her. Lauren let me know right away. She's like, how about those Dems taking Jacksonville? I'm like, bitch, yes, thank you. The Florida Dems went fucking nuts, and people started on Twitter going, thank God for Nikki Fried, because she was all over that fucking race. So Nikki Fried, who's our new
Someone's
chair.
actually doing
Someone's showing up and doing work. So it looked great for Florida Dems. And what did they do? Did they disappear for a couple days? No, she went right online. She's like, hey, this is the start. This is the turning point. Send us some money. Yep. And she was very excited, and I'm excited too, but they raised $24,000 in 24 hours based off this race, which was huge. But it's like a drop in the bucket compared to the millions and millions of dollars that DeSantis has raised. So we need to do a lot more than that to actually be competitive in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Also, my friend Jordan does listen to the whole podcast. I meant to say it at the top, but he texted me this weekend, or he sent me a message on Twitter, and he was like, I was laughing on the treadmill at the gym. You guys had me cracking up this week. And he goes, and I do listen to the whole thing. And I was like, oh, good.
Hey. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, he's such a sweetheart.
Oh.
So cute.
All right.
Oh, Jordan. So, I guess that's it.
Okay.
We're going to do some Patreon now. If you're not on our Patreon, go check it out.
Yes.
Send us some
have some
money.
Fun episodes coming out. And send us that money.
Thank you. We love our patrons.
We too.
Thank you so much for your constant love and support. You have no idea. It means the world to us.
It means so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.